Why do people like movies? Well, you've got the explosions, the sexy people with the bits on their bodies that you will never ever have, Gary Oldman. There are lots of reasons, but one of the biggest is it's one of the only places where happy endings actually exist. They exist in movies, and that sauna you sometimes go to when you're lonely. Unlike life, when a movie ends, it ends. There's no next day, so the characters are happy forever. I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and here are 10 movie endings with disturbing implications. Spoilers, obviously.
Duh.
Number 10. Man steals dude's entire life. Source code. In Duncan Jones' follow-up to Moon, one of the best films ever, fact, Jake Gyllenhaal plays Colter Stevens, who has to solve the mystery of a train bombing in the past by using a science thing called source code to take over the mind of a passenger called Sean Fentress during the last 8 minutes of his life. Simple plot that. It's revealed that each use of the source code creates a different parallel reality, and Colter manages to solve the bomb and settle down in an alternate timeline with a nice lady. Isn't that nice? But wait a minute, what happened to Sean Fentress? You know, the guy whose face Colter is currently wearing. Jilly Baby has stolen this guy's entire life but doesn't have any of his memories. He's screwed. Also, he's dating the dead man's girlfriend at the end of the film. Ew, double ew, because she still thinks he's someone else. That's not consent. The lady has a right to know that her boyfriend is dead and mind swap with a random soldier, right? Jake, you bad, bad man. Number 9, Adam Sandler Forever, 51st Dates. In Adam Sandler rom-com, and I put the words rom and com in quotation marks there, is about Drew Barrymore being in love with Adam Sandler. And if that's not bad enough, she also has an accident which means she doesn't retain memories from the previous day overnight. She wakes never knowing who Adam Sandler is, which, despite that sounding very pleasant indeed, he spends the movie trying to cure. The happy ending in question involves him making a tape that she has to watch every single day, which fills her in on all the lovely things in her life that she can't remember. Oh, isn't that lovely? But wait a minute, there's still no cure, right? Over the next few decades, she could still be waking up every day not knowing the following things. Where did these kids come from? Where am I? Why am I pregnant? Why is Adam Sandler in my bed? Why am I old? When did my parents die? Why is Adam Sandler in my bed? No amount of infinite tapes that Sandler will have to create can soften the blows of these daily horrors. Number 8, the narrator will be in jail for the rest of his life. Fight Club. Now, in the movie adaptation of Chuck Palahniuk's book Fight Club, the narrator spends the film trying to free himself of all of life's anxieties.
Everything's a copy of a copy of a copy.
He does this by some wacky shenanigans with his super best friends gang, Project Mayhem, and his mental pal, Tyler Durden. Now, the film's big twist is that Durden is a fiction. He's the hallucinatory embodiment of the narrator's wild, hedonistic id. It's his inner animal, basically. The narrator shoots himself in the face, and with that symbolic gesture, finally frees himself from Durden, embraces the woman he loves, and can finally live an uninhabited life. But wait a minute, he's also the country's most wanted terrorist who just blew up a significant portion of the city. Yeah, I think he's going to go to jail for the rest of his life. I mean, sure, he'll be uninhibited, unless you count either being on the run for the rest of your life or being in the very small prison cell as inhibition, which, you know, I do. Number 7, a short friendship. Up. Up, otherwise known as Pixar's genuine attempt to weaponize sentiment, is about a grouchy old man called Carl who goes on one last adventure he promised his wife before she died. On the way, he bonds with Russell, a small boy his own dad abandoned him. The film ends with them forming a solid friendship. But wait a minute, a friendship that will last for how long exactly? Now, Carl was a kid in the 30s, so he's got to be at least in his 80s, and all that adventuring can't have been good for his heart. Also, the odds of prostate cancer rise to 80% for men in their 80s. I'm just being practical, guys. The sad fact of the matter is, Russell will be burying his new father figure very soon. Fact. Number 6, the love is doomed to fail, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Now, if you could erase the memory of someone from your head, it would be Adam Sandler. Now, if you could erase someone else, probably do double Adam Sandler just to make sure it's bleached all the way out. In the world of Eternal Sunshine, people are given the chance to erase relationships from their memories to ease the pain. The film ends with Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet beginning the first steps of a relationship despite knowing that they both wiped each other from their memories once before. Still, new love is hopeful, right? But wait a minute, we already know that these two don't work to such an extreme they need to give each other an Adam Sandlectomy. They haven't innately learned from this experience because they've wiped each other's brains, so they're just going to make all the same instinctual mistakes. All love is pain, all roads lead to a grim, lonely oblivion. Hello darkness, my old friend. Oh. Number 5, sad song kills happy ending. Rushmore. Sometimes the right song can make or break a happy ending. The ending of Lord of the Rings would be much less tender with the one foot in the grave theme over the top of it. Rushmore is a brilliant film that was the first major success of Wes Anderson, the Doctor of Quirkonomics. In the film, Max is trying to bone his teacher, but in the end makes a play, which is a terrible plot synopsis of Rushmore. Max, instead of his teacher, then dances with Margaret, the nerdy girl who's been pursuing him all film, as a pleasant song plays. Oh, isn't that lovely? But wait a minute, the song is Ooh La La by The Faces. The lyrics of this entire song about how dreadful life is as you age, wishing you could go back and do it all again and learn from your mistakes, and how treacherous women will constantly break a young man's heart, implying that socially awkward Max has a world of heartache and pain just around the puberty corner.
I didn't get hurt that bad.
Again, I may be exaggerating things for comic effect, but they're literally paying me to do that, so just get over it. Number 4, Marty McFly has never met his family. Back to the Future. Back to the Future is one of the best films ever made, and if you don't like it,
May God have mercy on your soul.
Marty McFly goes back in time in the best car of all time, accidentally endangering his and his pathetic family's entire existences, puts it right again, gets back to the future in the nick of time, and finds out that he actually made his family a much better version of themselves.
Everything is great.
Happy ending forever. But wait a minute, Marty McFly only has memories of how his life used to be, right? He's never met a single member of his own family before. They have been raised differently by different parents. They will have gone different places, shared different experiences. Basically, Marty murdered his family and now is alone in a group of strangers who will slowly start to think that he's gone mad after he can't remember a single event from his whole life.
This is all wrong.
Number 3, Jack will die soon. Jack. Jack is a film that's directed by Francis Ford Coppola. Francis Ford Coppola directed The Godfather. See how that doesn't add up? Jack is about a kid who ages 4 times faster than everyone else and dicks around elementary school as a middle-aged man. It ends with Jack winning over his entire class who had been arseholes to him for no real reason, and that's all fine. But wait a minute, the very end of the film shows an elderly Jack graduating high school. They made him finish school even though he was wasting away. You monsters, he ages 4 times faster than everybody else. He can go without calculus. From the end of the film, Jack's going to be dead in what, 1 year? 2 years? And he just had to finish school. God, that's depressing. Number 2, Truman will have a bad life. The Truman Show. The Truman Show is about how it turns out to be a bad idea to spend a staggering amount of money depriving someone of basic free will for the entirety of his life. Well, that is quite the morality arc there. At the end of the film, Truman escapes the dome he's been living in and walks out into the big wide world a free man. But wait a minute, he's the most famous man in the entire world. Literally everyone on the planet knows his face. Every single place he goes, he's going to be mobbed by film crews, paparazzi, adoring fans. He's even more famous than me, and I have literally tens of fans. His total fame and his now obvious hatred of being the center of attention will force him to spend all of his life locking himself away behind closed doors, so he's basically just swapped a big prison for a smaller one. Horrible. And number 1, the Iron Giant can turn bad at any moment. The Iron Giant. The Iron Giant is possibly the most underrated animated film of all time, and it also has the best performance that Vin Diesel has ever done, and I include the tree in that. The Giant himself is a robot weapon designed for mass evil and chaos, but turns good after getting bonked on the head. The robot sacrifices himself for mankind, getting blowed up by a nuke, but is later found to be reassembling himself in Iceland. Hooray! But wait a minute, in a deleted scene, the Giant has an image of other robots like him wiping out a planet. His programming is naturally hugely destructive. If a bonk to the head made him good, who's to say that being nuked won't reboot him back to evil? After all, he's rebuilding himself from scratch. That is a hard reset. Factory conditions will apply, and those conditions dictate that he murders everybody. And that's our list. Did we miss any out? Tell us about it in the comments, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and you can follow me on Twitter. Here, I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and I'll see you soon.
In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.